Well, hey, it's Catherine. I'm glad you're joining me because today we are starting our product previews for our next Stamp of Approval collection. Our theme is the perfect reason because every reason is the perfect reason to send a card. So we have 3 products that we're going to take a look at today. We're going to look at the perfect reason flower stamp set and the coordinating dies and the Mod Squared Stencil. I'm going to make 2 cards, show you how all of these pieces work together, and let's get to it. So let's take a look at the Perfect Reason stamp set, and don't get confused, it says Giggles on the front. We actually had a renaming of this set, so it is called, and you will see on the back, Perfect Reason Stamps, and then we have the coordinating dies. So we have dies that cut out almost all of these little images, and I wanted to show you how they work together. So we're going to take this large, fun, pointy kind of circle. I'm going to stamp it in Party Dress. Now this is the stamp that goes next, so we're going to do it in Tutti Frutti. We'll stamp it right in the center. This solid circle goes next, and we'll do that with Tiara. Next up is this fun little kind of spray looking stamp, and that one is going to be Midnight, and we will stamp that right in the center. So now we have this super cute, adorable little flower. Next up we've got this guy, and this one is right here. We're going to stamp that with Aquatini. We're going to take this little stamp right here and stamp in the center. I've got Tutti Frutti, and look how adorable. Now we have these kind of spray-like flowers that are going to be awesome for backgrounds as well as filling in your bouquets. I'm going to do Tiara, and you're going to notice there are 2 spots that kind of jut out with another one on the opposite side. So I'm going to try to find those 2 or those 3 spots on my stamp, and that will help me line it up. And the same with these little 2. There's kind of 2 little spots that jut out further than the rest, and I can find those on the stamp. I'm going to do these in Party Dress. So when I was stamping the centers here, I totally forgot that we had a circle die to coordinate with this little center, so you can pop up or just glue right on top in case you don't want to worry about trying to line that up in the center. You can just use the little die cut. Next up we have these 2 little guys right here. I absolutely am in love with these 2 flowers. They're super adorable, and I think they're different. I haven't seen flowers like that. So I'm going to ink this up in Fiesta Blue and stamp right on there. And there, oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, one little tip for you if you're using the new foam Catherine Pollard inks. Notice how I did a really light touch and I didn't get any ink in this open part here. Now I'm going to show you what happens if you push down too hard. I got ink all in there, and then when I stamp on my cardstock, well, that time I didn't have any problem, but this time, look at this one, I have little dots in the middle, and I actually kind of think that looks cute. But if you push down and pull up, I think what happened is the ink kind of just splattered down from the ink pad. So a really light touch. If you watch all of my videos and my Facebook lives, you hear me say that all the time, but sometimes I still get stuck. Just, you barely have to even like lay your stamp on the ink pad to get it inked. It's just really, really easy inking, but it may take you a little bit to get used to because with felt pads, we're used to pushing down really hard. So just a really light touch is all you need. So just tap, tap. And then we'll stamp on these little ones. They're so adorable. And then we have a center to go with those. So each one has its own center. So that one's there and the other one is right here. And I will do those in Tiara. I love how this looks with the turquoise and the yellow. So then for some more accenting, we have these 2 little flowers here, and we have little dots for the centers of the flowers, and this one even has a little X on it just to give a little bit more detail. So let's see, I'm gonna stamp those. I already have them cut out, so we'll do Aquatini. And I don't think I got this lined up correctly on the die cut. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's still gonna look really cute. Now before I assemble these into a card, I'm going to use the Mod Squared Stencil, and I want to do a little bit of stenciling. I want it a really light blue, so I'm doing the Something Borrowed and then just kind of swishing it off or sponging it off on my scratch paper. And I'm going to get a nice light blue. I just want this as a subtle background. And I probably should have used some Post-it tape to anchor this down, but I didn't, so I'm gonna have to be sure to hold this tight. I want this to just kind of fade off, so I'm lightening up my touch as I go, and also I'm, getting rid of ink, so it's gonna go lighter as I go anyway. And let's pull it up and see. Yeah, that's looking pretty much exactly the way I wanted it to. I'm pushing down a little bit harder because I want to get just a little bit darker here in the corner. See, there, yes, perfect. I'm gonna ink up the stem in Lime Ricky, and I'm using my Misty just to have a little bit more control because this is a really thin stamp. I wanna make sure that this gets stamped pretty well. That is looking good. And then my greeting, I could just stamp it with a block, but as long as I have my Misty out, I'm gonna grab this. We're gonna do Worry Less, Giggle More. And this sentiment was a suggestion from one of our Stamp Nation members, Peggy. And then there is another sentiment in this set, I Don't Need a Reason, and that is from Carol. Carol Held. She has a YouTube channel if you wanna go check it out, but she is a longtime member, both gals are. Makes Stamp Nation an awesome place with their projects and input. So I was excited to be able to put 2 of their sentiment ideas in this collection. So we're just gonna stamp that and move on to the next step. I just realized there is one image in here that I did not stamp and die cut. So we have a die cut also for this leaf here. So I just took this card panel and trimmed off a little on the sides, about 1/4 inch, added a little black behind it, and I'm finished with this one. And a second one, I took my little die cut flowers, added some leaves. I stamped the leaves in the little yellow or tiara polka dots right on the card front, and then I did a very light sponging of tiara here with the Mod Squared Stencil over it. So we get a tone on tone there. So these are your first 2 cards from the Perfect Reason collection, and I can't wait to show you the rest. Sales go live on February 8th, and remember, our stamp of approval collections are limited while supplies last, and they do sell out pretty quickly, usually within a few days. So be sure to get added to the wait list at cpstampofapproval.com, and I'll see you again tomorrow with some more reveals.